What if I told you that SpongeBob SquarePants is basically immortal? Think about it. This guy has been blown up, erased from reality, attacked by his own drawings, and even eaten a bomb. Yet here he is, still flipping patties like nothing happened. Today, we're diving into the science-defying moments that prove SpongeBob has some serious plot armor. When SpongeBob and Patrick take the wrong bus and end up in rock bottom, they find themselves in one of the most terrifying locations in the entire series. The residents are grotesque, deep-sea creatures with glowing eyes, razor-sharp teeth, and the unsettling habit of speaking through raspberry sounds. The environment itself seems designed to kill. Complete darkness, bizarre architecture, and an atmosphere so hostile that even the vending machines are out to get you. SpongeBob spends the entire episode desperately trying to catch a bus home while being stalked by creatures that could easily tear him apart. He's completely alone, exhausted, and running on fumes. In real life, a small sponge wandering around the deep ocean abyss would become someone's midnight snack within minutes. The fact that he survives an entire night in what's essentially underwater Silent Hill is nothing short of miraculous. When Squidward quits his job and becomes homeless, SpongeBob's kindness nearly becomes his downfall in the most passive-aggressive way possible. What starts as offering a friend a place to stay quickly becomes a nightmare of exploitation and psychological torture. Squidward transforms from grateful houseguest to demanding tyrant, forcing SpongeBob to wait on him hand and foot while he lounges around like a sea slug. But it's not just the emotional abuse. Squidward puts SpongeBob through genuinely dangerous situations. He makes him perform backbreaking labor, subjects him to sleep deprivation, and pushes him to the point of complete physical and mental exhaustion. The most disturbing part? SpongeBob's unwavering optimism makes him completely blind to how he's being destroyed from the inside out. By the episode's end, he's a hollow shell of his former self. And if Gary hadn't intervened, SpongeBob might have worked himself to death just to keep his friend happy. Leave it to SpongeBob to accidentally create his own assassin with a magic pencil. What begins as innocent fun with a mysterious drawing tool quickly becomes a fight for survival against an evil doppelganger with nothing to lose. Doodle Bob isn't just a drawing come to life. He's a psychotic version of SpongeBob with one goal: erasing the original from existence. Armed with the same magic pencil that created him, Doodle Bob goes on a rampage, literally removing parts of SpongeBob's body and house from reality. The chase sequence through SpongeBob's home is pure terror, with Doodle Bob stalking him like a paper-thin Michael Myers. The most chilling moment comes when Doodle Bob corners SpongeBob and begins methodically erasing him piece by piece. SpongeBob watches in horror as parts of his body simply vanish into nothingness. If he hadn't gotten lucky with that conveniently placed piece of paper, Doodle Bob would have completely wiped SpongeBob from existence. No death, no body, just gone. Being kidnapped by the Flying Dutchman should be a death sentence, but SpongeBob treats it like a field trip. The Flying Dutchman's ship is essentially a floating torture chamber filled with supernatural horrors, deadly traps, and a ghost who spent centuries perfecting the art of scaring souls to death. Throughout the episode, SpongeBob faces multiple near-death experiences that would traumatize most people for life. He's nearly crushed, scared literally to pieces, and subjected to otherworldly phenomena that defy all logic. The Flying Dutchman himself is a malevolent spirit with unlimited power over life and death, and he has every intention of adding SpongeBob to his collection of damned souls. Hidden within this seemingly innocent training video are some of the most gruesome ways SpongeBob could meet his end while working at the Krusty Krab. The video casually presents scenarios that would result in serious injury or death, treating them as normal workplace hazards. From getting caught in industrial kitchen equipment to dealing with dangerous chemicals, the training video reveals just how deadly working at a fast food restaurant can be. SpongeBob watches with enthusiasm as the narrator describes situations that could easily crush, burn, or poison him. The casual tone makes it even more disturbing. These aren't freak accidents, they're presented as expected occupational hazards. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy is your own face. When SpongeBob accidentally awakens a primitive version of himself from an ice cave, he becomes the target of a manhunt for crimes he didn't commit. The cave sponge, dubbed Spongy Spongy, follows SpongeBob around town, causing massive destruction while SpongeBob gets blamed for everything. What makes this situation particularly deadly is how quickly the entire town turns against him. SpongeBob finds himself arrested, jailed, and hunted by police, while a violent doppelganger rampages through Bikini Bottom. The cave sponge is incredibly aggressive, attacking anyone who gets in its way and causing property damage that could easily hurt innocent bystanders. Before we continue with these near-death experiences, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or you might get stranded in rock bottom forever. After watching a horror movie about robot invasions, SpongeBob becomes convinced that Mr. Krabs has been replaced by a mechanical imposter. What follows is a paranoid nightmare that leads to SpongeBob and Squidward essentially torturing their boss in pursuit of the truth. The episode showcases how SpongeBob's overactive imagination can lead to genuinely dangerous situations. Convinced that robots are taking over the world, he and Squidward tie up Mr. Krabs and subject him to interrogation tactics that border on torture. They destroy his personal belongings, accuse him of murder, and threaten him with violence. The terrifying reality is that SpongeBob's paranoia is so convincing that even Squidward gets caught up in it. If Mr. Krabs hadn't broken down crying when they threatened his beloved cash register, there's no telling how far they would have gone. SpongeBob came dangerously close to seriously hurting an innocent person based on nothing but movie-induced hysteria. This episode presents the most straightforward death scenario in SpongeBob's history. He allegedly eats a bomb disguised as a pie and has until sunset to live. What makes this situation particularly harrowing is how real it feels for everyone involved, especially Squidward. The bomb pie is no joke. When it finally explodes at the episode's end, it creates a massive crater that could have easily vaporized SpongeBob if he had actually eaten it. The pirates who made it specifically designed it to kill, and only SpongeBob's innocent decision to save the pie for later prevents his gruesome death. Throughout the episode, we watch Squidward struggle with genuine grief and guilt, believing he's responsible for his friend's impending doom. The emotional weight of the situation creates some of the series' most touching moments, but also highlights how close SpongeBob came to an explosive end. In the movie's climax, SpongeBob and Patrick face their most certain death yet when they're captured and taken to Shell City, a beachside gift shop where sea creatures are turned into souvenirs. The heat lamps used to dry out marine life represent a slow, agonizing death that the duo can't escape. As they lie helplessly under the burning lamps, we watch SpongeBob and Patrick slowly dehydrate and shrivel up. Their skin cracks, their movements become sluggish, and they eventually appear to die on screen. For several minutes, the movie treats their deaths as real, with other characters mourning their loss and the mission seeming hopeless. The only thing that saves them is the power of their own tears, which somehow provides enough moisture to revive them. Without this miraculous intervention, SpongeBob and Patrick would have become dried-up decorations in a tourist trap, making this their closest brush with an actual confirmed death. What starts as SpongeBob trying to be a good hall monitor spirals into citywide chaos that puts countless lives at risk, including his own. Through a series of misunderstandings and accidents, SpongeBob inadvertently becomes Bikini Bottom's most wanted criminal, with the entire police force hunting him down. SpongeBob causes massive car accidents, building collapses, and general pandemonium throughout the city. Emergency vehicles chase him through the streets, while he remains completely oblivious to the destruction following in his wake. The situation becomes so dangerous that the authorities consider him a genuine threat to public safety. The episode reaches its peak when SpongeBob finds himself surrounded by police cars, helicopters, and SWAT teams, all because he tried to help an old lady cross the street. If the truth hadn't come out when it did, SpongeBob could have been seriously injured or killed by law enforcement officers who believed they were stopping a dangerous criminal. What did you think of our countdown? Are there any other moments where SpongeBob should have died that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite animated series.